Hey, it's me, Jeopardy, and I'm here with Aly. We're going to talk about the Axl Rose episode of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. We are late with this review by a couple weeks. We watched it, but we just have not had the time to actually sit down and record it. So let's talk about it. Aly, you found an interesting connection with this episode by doing research
Yeah.
that
That no one would actually know.
that no one would know.
Unless if you're a huge fan and you know every little weird fact. So apparently Axl Rose actually collects ancient artifacts from civilizations, and which is how the whole ancient artifact in the show connects. Except for I think it's religious artifacts that he collects at why can't I crucifixes,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't in it, but it was still an ancient
It's
artifact.
still a connection that I applaud them for having a connection, because that's one thing that we've honestly had issues with these Scooby-Doo episodes is the celebrity guest comes on and then there's no actual connection to the celebrity guest, and that connection is awesome. The only little thing is, if you didn't do the research, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah, you have to do some deep research on that, reading up on 100 facts about Axl Rose to know those things. The more well-known things about him and his band, I don't think there was that many connections with.
Honestly, with him and music, there was not that many.
No, but I mean, I would believe that's due to his hatred with Slash.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of controversy there. So between the two, so I'm sure he probably did not want to be recognized for that in the show, which is kind of a bummer because that's what he's known for.
See, the only real tie was the fact that Axl Rose met Scooby and Shaggy when he was on tour.
Yeah, that was the only tie.
And as he was on tour, they would go around to diners trying to find the best pie.
Best pie, yeah. I did like that connection. That was cute.
Yeah, and it fit Scooby-Doo.
Well, yeah, because only Shaggy and Scooby would go for food, so
yeah,
makes sense.
Overall, Mud Monsters, it felt like a lot of old-fashioned Scooby-Doo episodes just thrown in.
I don't know if I felt old-fashioned,
but
per se.
The cliches of old Scooby-Doo episodes, like a mud monster, and it's the only people you interact with
are the ones that
are the monsters.
The villains.
The Mystery Machine getting stolen was a good little thing that was interesting and kind of changed things up. But overall, I would say this was just a kind of an average episode.
Yeah, it didn't blow me away like the Jeopardy episode.
The Jeopardy's still by far one of the best episodes, if not the best episode.
I would say it's one of the best, honestly.
Yeah. Of the Scooby-Doo and Guess Who
but
series.
this wasn't bad.
No, and I think with this season, they're going to do a lot better with the celebrity guests, because there are a lot of interesting ones. Like, you got Superman and Supergirl. You got...
Yeah, I'm hoping that they'll do more, connections that maybe you wouldn't exactly understand unless if you actually did a Google search and did a little bit of research, like how they did with Axl Rose. But at the same time, I also want to see bigger connections, too. So, kids that didn't grow up with this band know who the hell Axl Rose is. Cause,
yeah. Someone just watching Scooby-Doo is not going to...
Yeah,
a child watching Scooby-Doo is not going to really know who Axl Rose is unless they're really versed in music.
Yeah, and that's most likely not going to be a thing.
It's sort of like when we were kids, we could watch the new Scooby-Doo movies and see the Harlem Globetrotters, even though the Harlem Globetrotters were not as big when we were little.
But we knew who they were.
We knew who they were because of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
We knew who pretty much any of the guest stars were.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the episode. Versus these, you really don't know who the person is. If you're just
Well,
gonna
yeah.
watch it out of the blue, or it just comes on TV.
It's just like who guess who? Like
Yeah.
It fits the name.
Yeah,
Guess who?
It does. What would you rate it?
I would definitely give it at least a 6. Because I mean it was average. I wasn't totally immersed in the show. Like this episode, like I have with the very first episode of season 4 or volume 4, whatever you want to call it.
But I mean, it was still interesting enough where it wasn't horrible.
Yeah, I like that one little connection that we found.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I give it a 6. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of the episode of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who with Axl Rose. As the season gets released, we will watch more. It's kind of weird that they released Axl Rose and then haven't released another episode. I thought they were going to do one a week. That's what I kind of thought, so I figured there'd be more by now, but there isn't. So
good to know that we're not that behind.
Yeah. So we reviewed all the season of the Scooby-Doo, and we're going to review a bunch of other shows, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and like always, we will see you in the next one. Later.